Perfect.
Sam, do you have another poll for us, by the way?
I do have another poll.
All right, drop it.
I think this one's going to be interesting too, because we're talking about new ways for literature to be adapted into television and film. But going back a little bit, what is the best TV show adapted from a book? Number one, this is a broad one, but Game of Thrones, 68%. Kind of ran away with it. You'd expect it.
Feels right. Yeah.
Number two, I didn't know that this was based on a book. So, caught me off guard a little bit, but Dexter, 19%. Then The Queen's Gambit, 6%. And again, did not know it was based on a book, tied at 6%, Gossip Girl. I tried to get a little bit of everything in here.
Right? Jason Schwartzman, the guy that did the OC, did Gossip Girl as well. Shout out to Jason Schwartzman.
That's a good mix, man.
He's a hit maker, man. Okay, so Game of Thrones is expected, right? Like
Queen's Gambit, I thought would have been a lot higher in that, but maybe
Dexter's hot right now.
Yeah,
it's one of those that's getting clipped all over
Dexter's
YouTube
so
Shorts.
hot right now.
Yeah, recency bias, on that one too. Yep.
I think they're coming back out with one, right, Sam?
Yeah, it's on the way. Another season.
So it might be recency bias because it's so hot. So anyway, also people love that show. I know a bunch of like Dexter stans. By the way, Nick, our wardrobe and person is I think a Dexter stan. Shout out to Cicely Hoffman. So these people love this murderer. What does that say, Nick, for society? That this murderer is so popular.
Yeah. We've talked about that. That's the Loki, that's the Yago, that's all these things. It's this anti-hero type situation. But I think that there's just so much, there's drama that they love, that we know that they love, but also there's the psychology of it. I think that's something that draws people in very much so. I mean, with the ones that we just mentioned, I'm actually just curious. So those are the ones that are hyper popular on TV, right? On kind of our normal cable television channels or streamers. How does that kind of translate into your world, Emma? Is there something that you've seen on your platform that is a huge breakout and you can kind of put your finger on that? Now, Game of Thrones, how many seasons did that go?
7.5 technically, right, Sam? But it was like they really drew it out. It was.
I was gonna say too many.
Yeah.
I haven't seen any of these shows.
Yeah.
I'm just,
That was a pure profit grab right there, where they split that last season up into two. That was really frustrating for the viewers, and for it to end the way it ended, where it wasn't a bad finale, but it wasn't good enough to justify that split. Yeah, it went on too long.
Yeah, I was just wondering. So, but if there's anything that, Emma, that you've seen from the shows that you've produced, right? Like, is there a thread that you're seeing that people are really tied into? Are there certain characters or character types that people just love and they keep coming back for every time?
Yeah, so I think like YA high school is having a very big moment for us right now. And I think like when we first were producing shows, we weren't doing as much high school because we thought we wanted to attract like an older audience. When I say older, like, 25 plus, just because we thought they have more money in their pockets to spend. So let's make sure we're creating content where the protagonists are a similar age and it's like more relatable and all of these things. But we had a couple like really high performing books that were YA that we produced, and they've just had like runaway successes. And even though like when you run like marketing campaigns and you're spending money on performance like marketing dollars, you'll see that like the revenue per install is going to be lower because it's a younger audience, but their reach is so much higher, right? So they're going and they're telling their friends and they're bringing in 4 people. So if you look at it on like an overall kind of like growth perspective, these are amazing shows. But if you look at like the nitty gritty of like individual user behaviors, they're not necessarily the best. But we're really leaning into that. And like this summer, like school is ending soon. So we're making sure like a lot cheaper to film in schools, obviously, when school's out for summer. So we're really stacking a whole bunch of high school style shows to make sure we're feeding that bucket a lot.
That's cool. Are there certain characters in there that you're finding are like jumping out at people? Like, do you have these, I don't know, Dexter style characters who are just, they're kind of evil, but then, they're kind of good and you can't really tell? I'm just wondering if there's like a certain character that people are really, they really love these days.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of the male leads present as assholes, right? They're
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
seemingly toxic or they're seemingly perturbed in some way, but then we get to know who they really are, and they are just like projecting, and they have a good heart, and at the end of the day, they're a good person. So I think that's the thing is like the first like when you're getting to know them, you're like this guy's an asshole, and then next thing you know is they're actually this very genuine, very kind of kind-hearted person. But it's just their defense mechanism, right? So I think that's a classic trope in romance. When we talk like romance YA, like obviously we're going for a consumability approach, right? Like even when we started with romance as a genre for books, we looked at like consumability of this genre, and romance readers and romance watchers will read like 300 books a year versus someone that reads a thriller or a
Wow.
sci-fi reads like 15, right? Like it's just night
So
and
many
day. So
books.
even though people maybe spend the same amount of money on a thriller, for example, because they're buying the hardback for their shelf, people who read romance are spending 99 cents per book and just like running through them. And so for us, like I think with like a high fantasy concept like a Game of Thrones, like as a network, that's like you're gonna do one show that's gonna bring in a lot of revenue versus we're doing a bunch of shows that have a lot of like similar themes, and we're earning that revenue by having one user watch 50 shows, not one user watch one show. And so we have a subscription model, and like I think for us it's less about let's do something crazy, but let's just create a lot of really solid parallel content to get people watching.
I like it.